All right. Well, like I was gonna.
How do we begin?
I was gonna pretend like woo, and I'm like, oh man, I am. We have driven from Arlington, which is
Yes. First, welcome.
Welcome to the
Hi,
show.
welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in every week.
we literally drove in from Arlington as a family.
Yes.
With my mom, with Miss Betty.
Yes.
With Delilah, with Garrett.
And Steve means like we literally threw our suitcases, like we showered really quick, which I don't know why they can't smell us. We didn't have to, but
Yeah, but I need to like when I get off the road, like I just gotta shower and feel clean, you know?
Yeah.
So we
I
showered,
sprayed a ton of dry shampoo.
we showered very quickly and jumped on the podcast because it's just trying to make everybody's schedule work, you know, between
Because Rick is leaving us to go hunt for ghosts.
And yeah, Rick and everybody. So it's here we are.
Yes.
Here we are. We just got off of a weekend of Mother's Day, which Thursday I left to Arlington.
Yeah.
Knowing that you were going to do Garrett's last baseball game on Saturday morning.
Well, and we had his kindergarten school tour.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we couldn't go with you, because I was like, we can't. I mean, it wasn't mandatory that he do it, but I just felt like it was important.
And you know me, I wanted him to have that last baseball game too. Like it was important, you know.
Yeah, I was about the education. You were about the baseball.
Well, again, going.
Like, who cares about the school tour?
I mean, going back to, you know, always trying to make everything work, right?
Yes, for sure.
We were, you know, I was 3.5 hours away in Arlington, Texas. I drove up with me and Jake and Timmy Thursday.
Oh, always making it work. What he means is always making sure to find a casino.
Well, you know, I Google casinos near me, right? When I go to a comedy club, casinos near me.
Rick, are you surprised he found a casino?
Look, Philadelphia next week, casinos near me. Rivers Casino is across the street from the comedy club. Across the street. Then, Rick, we're leaving today. We pull out of the parking lot where the hotel is, and she's like, oh my God, there's a Nordstrom Rack right there. How did I not know this? And I go, well, if you Googled Nordstrom Rack near me, then you would have found one.
I should have known. There's usually Nordstrom Racks close to the comedy clubs.
But I did want to take a little side note. We did, yes, Jake and I did go to the casino Thursday night after my show. Well, we didn't do. There's nothing really happened Thursday night. It was already late when we got there, and we woke up to play craps in the morning, and there was just a really sweet moment. Before I get into that, Aztec Chevrolet. Thank you. Oh, you know what? No. Let's not talk about Aztec right now.
Oh, because we have a cool story to share about Aztec too.
A cool story. So, Jake and I wake up. We go to the craps table before I have to go back to Arlington, and there's a man there. Several men, but there's one in particular, and he has his son with him, and his son has Down syndrome. Yeah. And his son is 30.
I don't know why you're so sad and serious in your tone. This is such a sweet story.
It's a very sweet story, but it like, we always have to remember, and I try to sell this to you all the time, having perspective. Yeah. Right? And truly understanding, like, how, you know, and again, me always looking at the positives, right? I look at the positives, right? So this man's there with his son who has Down syndrome, and his son's 30. His name is Drew, and he ends up right next to me and Jake, right? And Drew has his little money, and you could tell that they go there a lot because all the dealers like know the dad. They're like, hi, Drew, right? But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm going to win. There's an angel at the table. Yeah. Right? When there's somebody at the table who truly doesn't care whether he wins or loses, we're going to win. Yeah. Right? And he would put his money down, and his dad would go, oh, okay, Drew, you want to put your money down, right? We get on this roll, right? And by the way, you know, it was one of those things where we get on this roll. Things are going crazy. We're high-fiving. Drew's fist bumping every time, right? Drew, right? I mean, you know, we're high-fiving over him, and he's having the time of his life, right? And his dad would go, we'd hit a good number, and his dad would go, dance, Drew, dance. And then Drew and him would dance, and me and Jake would join them and dance with them, and it was awesome. And then there's this one bet called Horn High Yo, where you're basically betting that 6-6 comes. They call it midnight, right? And the odds of a 12 coming is 30-1, right?
Okay.
So we put it on there. It's a 3. We get paid, right?
Why do you get paid for a 3?
Because it was horn high low. Like you're playing all the craps, but you're playing the high.
Oh, gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
High, right? So anyway, we get paid like $120, and they go, you want your bet back? And we go, yeah. Or as a $50 bet. And then Drew's father says, you realize if we hit midnight 6-6, we win $1,000, right? And then Jake goes, well, let's just roll it, right? And then Drew goes, it's coming, Dad. It's coming. And it hits 6-6. And we, of course, it's $1,000 roll.
Everyone loses
we
it.
lose our minds on our corner. The dad's like, Drew, dance, Drew, and then dance. Drew's dancing, and we're dancing. And, and it made me have my own perspective as a father, to go, man, sometimes, Garrett's overwhelming me sometimes, or sometimes I don't have the patience for Garrett, and it made me look at this dad and this son and think to myself, well, man, this guy for 30 years has been patient with this child. Yeah. With this little boy. Yeah. For 30 years, this dad somehow still has positive energy with his son because he's 30 and he's still taking care of him. Yeah. And still, hey, Drew, come on, Drew. And, keeping up with Drew and putting him in the car. And you know what I mean? Yeah. But this dad still was super sweet and super fun with his son and obviously had the patience for him, and it was just, for me, a moment of man, thank you, Drew, and his father for, giving me a reminder. Yeah. For giving me a reminder that, hey, man, kids are a blessing. Kids are a gift, and we may not have perfect kids. Yeah. But we should have the patience for them. Yeah. So it was just a really cool moment at the casino.
Who knew you could learn life lessons at the craps table?
Well, you know me. Look, I learn life lessons from anybody and everybody and everything. You know me. But Friday, we had a big shout out to the Chick-fil-A group from the Valley. Well, so that's what was crazy, Rick, is the Canelo fight was in Arlington at Cowboy Stadium. So there wasn't a hotel room to be found. There wasn't a restaurant that wasn't an hour and a half wait. Yeah, it was nuts of the amount of people that had come into Arlington. It was like, I'm
no, like, and I got in the elevator with the kiddos and a girl's like, are you here for the fight? I was like, nope. She was like, are you here for the game? I was like, nope. I'm here for a comedy show.
Yeah, there's a baseball game around the corner. There's the Canelo fight, which is bringing in a record 80,000 people. It was nuts. The weekend was nuts. So a group from the Valley, the McAllen area, they had come in and, I do the Chick-fil-A joke, right? About little baby Jonathan.
Yes, yeah.
At the Chick-fil-A. Well, afterwards, they hand me a stack of gift cards from Chick-fil-A. Yeah. And they end up hanging out afterwards and they're like, oh, well, he owns a Chick-fil-A and he owns a Chick-fil-A and he owns a Chick-fil-A. So Friday I ended up hanging out with all these Chick-fil-A.
Garrett was so excited to put them all in his wallet.
Yeah. So big shout out to the Chick-fil-A of South Texas for hooking me up and just being really sweet and nice. And then Saturday morning, Captain Eva was coming up. She went to the game.
We did baseball here, last game of the season. Yep. It was so cute. The kids were so excited. Like, they didn't want to stop playing. Huh?
What else?
Oh, so what else? So we did the game, and then we came home and we loaded up the car, and I got Mama and behind the scenes Betty, and we made the drive. I didn't want to do that drive by myself. 4 hours is like 3 with Delilah because she's eating every 3 hours. We can do, but over that, then you have to stop, and it's like a whole.
Well, I didn't
for me to do by myself. With
the kiddos. And Mom was nice enough to go with you, and I didn't realize, but Mom was like, you realize this is the first Mother's Day in 20 years that we have spent together.
That's crazy.
You know, because on Mother's Day, I am the entertainment.
Yeah.
Right? I am the show. I am something to do on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Right? And usually I'm on the road. Apparently not Texas, because I wasn't able to do it with Mom. So it was really nice to have Mom with me
on Mother's Day.
So because the Canelo fight's in town, right? Uh-huh. And I'm over there like, all right, let me get a reservation for a nice dinner. Okay, nice dinner, nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Saturday? Can we do Saturday? Nothing. We end up at like a glorified Luby's or like we end up at this bullshit restaurant, and I'm so bummed about it. But then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll book Mom and Renae a spa day. No spas. Okay, well, maybe they can get nails. No nails, right? Okay, what about pedicures? No pedicures. That's the same as the nails, right?
Yeah.
Can I get a massage, right? There's a woman coming out of the elevator Friday, and I'm like, with her massage table, I go, are you open Saturday or Sunday? She's like, oh, honey. She's like, she goes, you in trouble. You in trouble, right? So then Jake was like, oh, crap, I got to get Kat something in San Antonio. Maybe there's availability. Dude, me and him were on the phone running into the same problem with zero luck.
And this is how I ended up with a gas station gift last year.
Yes, but you came to, we did dinner Saturday, which was our Mother's Day dinner.
We did.
Which was nice to have you and Mom and you to be with your kids, right? And then we did the show Saturday. You had a couple of friends show up.
I did. Saturday. Yeah, we had some friends show up Saturday, and so I stayed out for a little bit. It was good. One of my girlfriends, who's actually, now we know Broadway is opening back up. I have a girlfriend who's in a Broadway play, and she moved back to Texas to be with her folks while New York was shut down. And I was glad I got to see her before they go back to New York.
Yeah, it was good to see them too, and it was nice for me and you to kind of stick around a little bit after, and you know, we have these friends from San Jose, California, who made the move from San Jose to Texas. They chose Dallas, and we literally had not seen them in over a year.
Yeah.
You know, so it was nice that they were able to come out and join us. And I was able to bring you and Mom on stage Saturday night for both shows.
Yeah.
Wish you both a
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. And then Sunday, I took you guys to brunch.
Yeah.
We did brunch at my friend's place in Fort Worth called El Chingon.
Yes. And we just ordered everything.
Oh, everything. And then Mom loved it because, you know, there was mariachis. And I know how much Mom loves mariachis.
Yes.
You know, and it was really cool. And then, of course, because I'm trying to be as patient as possible on Mother's Day, you know, the stockyards are right there in Fort Worth, which is... the stockyards is how would you describe it?
I don't know how I'd never done that. I don't know how I'd never been to the stockyards. It's really cool.
It's a country outdoor mall.
Yes, but it's not at all what I thought it was gonna be. It's like nice. It's like there's cool cobblestone streets. There's like guys riding around on horseback, and there's horse-drawn carriages. But it's also like
bars, restaurants.
But it's also like upscale shops too. Yeah. Like Wrangler has a storefront. It's kind of like
it's rodeo. Not rodeo.
Exactly. Yes, it definitely has that
vibe. I knew
you
would like it, and you know, because when I lived in Dallas, that's where I would like to hang out. I would always go to the stockyards, to party, and I knew how cool it was, and I wanted to take you and Mom there because I know that you guys would enjoy, kind of, you know, doing the, you know, me and Flip and Garrett. We sat at a table, and you girls.
Yeah.
You know, did your thing, and I was trying to be as sweet as possible, patient as possible. Like, you know, I was like, hey, whenever y'all want to go. You know, it's Mother's Day.
Yeah, you really just wanted a nap. Thankfully, I
Mother's
did
Day.
too.
I'm like, hey, y'all do what you want, you know. But it was really nice to be with my mom, you know, and have her on stage Sunday as well. You know, and the shows were fantastic. And speaking of Aztec Chevrolet, Betty, Delilah, and Garrett are doing something.
So we all go to the first show together.
Oh, that's what it is.
And Garrett goes on stage and he sang a couple of songs. He's decided he's not telling jokes anymore, that he wants to sing. So he went on stage and told a couple songs. And then, of course, once that's done, Delilah's like starting to turn into a pumpkin and it's time to get him out of there. So Betty grabbed the kiddos and went back to the hotel. And in the parking lot, ran into this couple who they were from California.
Fresno.
Yeah, from Fresno. And
very nice people.
Driving through, had bought tickets and planned to come to your show all the way here in Texas.
And they ended up at our hotel, and his wife was freaking out because she was like, "Hey, look, somebody bought a car from Aztec Chevrolet." and then he was like, "It's got to be them. It's got to be them. It's the car they get to drive. It's the Aztec car that they get to drive, And of course, he sees Betty, and then she was like, "No, that's their son. I know that's their son.
Behind the scenes, Betty. That's Garrett. That's Delilah." Son, right? Yeah.
So they were able to track us down because of the Aztec Chevrolet plate. So, hey, Aztec Chevrolet, it's working. What we're doing is working. So it was awesome that they came all that way.
Yeah.
To see me and to see us and. We always try to go out of our way for people like that. People that
made such an effort to come to his show to see you live.
And it was nice. They came Sunday, and then Renae was like, "Oh my God, they were texting me, and we gotta find them. We gotta find them." And then sure enough, they were at the Sunday
Thank goodness
show.
They were at that show, yeah, because I hadn't read my messages until I was sitting in the green room on Sunday when things were a little more chill, and I saw it, and they happened to be at that show because I felt bad. I thought we had missed them.
Well, I was laughing. Were you looking at any of the poll?
No, I didn't see what happened with the poll.
Oh my God, it went nuts.
Did it really?
Yeah, you haven't
People
looked?
were all into it? No, I didn't look.
You haven't read the messages?
I haven't read all the comments.
Have you read any?
None of them.
Here, I'll let you go through them while I talk, and you can pick the good ones.
What were people all about? Tell me.
Well, people were mad at me. They're like, "Of course you owe her a gift." Of course. And I'm like, dude, first of all, I'm a comedian. And yes, I'm happy to give my wife a gift. She is an amazing mother. So do you have one?
Yeah, this one says, "True, she's not your mother. She was never a mother until you chose her to be the mother of your beautiful children."
Maybe I didn't choose her. Maybe it just happened.
It says, "It's a kind gesture to recognize her role as a great mother to your children. You should purchase something meaningful from your child to his mom. Yes, 100% you should get her a Mother's Day gift. It's mostly yes, buy Renae diamonds. Happy wife, happy life." But actually, no. Honestly, what was really sweet that we did for Mother's Day was we had a family nap, which was really nice. And I know that sounds so silly, but like literally to get a nap and for all of us to be napping at the same time in a dark hotel room in a cushy hotel bed was really, really lovely. And I realized that like, because you work weekends, right? Garrett goes to school in the mornings. And so we're rushing out the door during the week when you're home. But unless we travel with you.
Oh, can we read this one?
We don't get time in a cushy hotel bed, all of us like that, to take a nap.
You come off so cheap sometimes, Steve. She is always buying on the bargain racks. I know you gave her a vacation, but you went to had fun. You should have gave her a push gift. I did give her a push gift. Oh my God, I'm so freaking. You know what? Calling me cheap. I'll be back.
What are you doing?
I'll be back.
He's probably gonna pull out every nice thing he's ever bought me and like put it out on the table. He did get me a nice push gift. I have a very nice diaper bag. So before Garrett was born, I didn't ask for a push present with Garrett, but before Garrett was born, he came home with a nice handbag.
This is her diaper bag.
Okay, Mr. Trevino. Can we take the bag off the table now?
That's her diaper bag. So for you, that's like Mr. Steve's cheap.
Oh my goodness!
People couldn't even see me. It was so big. It was so big that it blocked me. And that was from Cindy. Cindy?
You know what's funny is that you talk every week about how you take the comments very personal and you try to read them all, and people still keep commenting great, amazing things. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. They know we read them, and they know that it affects us.
There's a chance they might get a shout out on the podcast.
Yes, and then you know what I did for Mom too is we sent her a bunch of Old Salt coffee. From our friends at Old Salt Coffee, so she should be getting that when she gets home. I don't want to say it too loud, but to our friends at Old Salt Coffee, thank you so much. Don't forget, guys, oldsaltcoffee.com. Get it delivered to the house. Make your life easy. Trevino 10% discount. Order it by bulk, millions of it. I'm just trying to help out.
Big diaper bags full of it.
I'm just trying to help out. But so anyway. The point is that...
Oh, wait, no, you didn't say what won. What won?
That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting at, and thank God, because it was... And by the way, jokingly, I said spend over $1,000 or whatever. Uh-huh. And Rick put it on there.
Oh, really?
Which I had called Rick, and I go, dude, don't be doing that shit.
No one's going to do that. Mother's Day is about, like, putting thought into things.
Okay, well, most people pick $1,000.
Did they really?
And the winner by a smidge... was breakfast in bed.
See, okay, I thought my guess was that all your male fans were going to choose the leg show. And
my male fans?
Yeah, I thought all the male fans.
Why the male
that was
fans?
My guess. I don't know. I just thought the guys would be like, oh, I'll give her the leg show because it's funny.
You are 100% right, Renae. I voted twice for the leg show.
Well, no. And so I took comfort in the fact that I know, based on Steve's Facebook demographics, that your audience is like 56% female. So I was like, okay, there's a chance.
No, dude, if I had to do the...
To your point, I have no idea why I voted for that. I just did it.
He secretly wants to see me in my underwear. But I couldn't do the leg show because there would have been a lot of editing to do, buddy. I would have had to shave my butt cheeks. The butt cheeks have a little party going on back there.
Gross.
TMI?
Yes, TMI.
But yes, so the winner is breakfast in bed. Now, because I was working and I was on the road for Mother's Day.
And on Mother's Day, you were sleeping in while I was out with Delilah. Yeah.
Yes, and today is the Monday after Mother's Day.
Okay.
And tomorrow, I will make you breakfast in bed, true to my word, and we will take a picture of the bullshit breakfast I make for you.
No, actually, you cook really good breakfast. You make a really good breakfast. Honestly, when we have guests come and stay, I don't cook breakfast. You're the one that wakes up and like does the breakfast.
Everybody watches the podcast. I like the way you're like, when guests come. No, period. Renae doesn't cook, period. When guests come. Like, no, I've never seen you cook.
Sometimes.
Oh my God, stop, woman.
Yeah.
Rick, and then on a side note, dude, I get home today. I open up the garage. Dude, there is 4 or 5 boxes stacked in the garage that say Renae's life. Renae's parents have cleaned out her trophies. Remember I told you she had the shrine in her room of her? Her parents finally are like, fuck this shit. Put it in boxes and sent it to us.
And Betty and I are like, we're going to have to clean out the closet here in the podcast studio because I don't know where we're going to put it all.
I'm getting up a lot.
We just like stuffed it in nooks and crannies where we could before we left to hit the road again.
And by the way, this is just like a couple of them. This is just a couple of them. Ooh, 4th grade Hall of Fame. I'm going to hide the year so you were in 4th grade.
Thank you.
4th grade Hall of Fame. But people can tell how old you are by this plaque. Like, just looking at the plaque, like, kids are like, is that an antique? And then what is this right here?
I don't even know. What do you have?
I'm going to hide the date again.
Thank you.
11th grade high honors. Gregory, Portland High School, 11th grade.
I wonder what that means. I don't even know what that means.
Look at the dust. Look at the dust on this bullshit. Dude, and by the way, Rick, boxes and boxes of this stuff.
Mom said that's not all. She's like, she goes, she sent it with your mom. And she was like, I loaded what I could in the car and you got to come deal with the rest, she told me.
Yeah, we need a U-Haul trailer to get the rest of Renae's accolades. Dude, I'm not kidding you, Rick. Like, boxes and boxes
I thought you were going to say Amazon boxes. I didn't realize that's what you're going to talk about.
I mean, that's the question. Okay, I'm very proud of you, right?
What are we going to do with all of it?
What do you do with it, man?
No, I mean, my college diploma, if it's somewhere in there, I'll probably keep that.
Yeah, it's right there. There's a picture of you in college.
Oh, it's framed and everything? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I mean, that'll probably...
But do we need 4th grade?
No, we don't.
The 4th grade plaque? Which, by the way, Rick, here's how dumb I am. Now I feel worse.
Why?
Because I didn't even know there was plaques being given out in 4th grade. Like, ignorance is bliss. Like, I didn't even know you could get a plaque in 4th grade. I'm over there in the dumb kid class folding pizza boxes for Pizza Hut. And meanwhile, Renee's over there getting freaking plaques. Here, take this home. No wonder you're an asshole. Like, no wonder you think so highly of yourself. You've been given plaques your whole life. That's what I need to do. I need to get Renee on a plaque system here at the house. Just so she can be nice. Ooh, look, Renee, let me present you with another plaque.
Most amazing dinner plaque.
Yeah. Oh, wow, Renee, you washed the clothes, folded them, and put them away once. Plaque. Dude.
I'm sorry.
But dude, Garrett did so good on stage. And sometimes I feel like, oh my God, like I bring him on stage and I always feel like maybe there's some people in the audience that are like, oh God, we gotta watch this.
I mean, look, I'm sure that's gotta happen. I'm sure that's gonna happen. They paid to see an adult comedy show, and then for a second you're like, But
he ended up getting a standing ovation, and he did so good.
People in Arlington were very, very sweet to him.
And last night they were handing him 20s.
Holy cow!
And people were giving him money, and Garrett's like, Dad, that's what I'm doing from now on.
Well, because he came backstage, I thought they were going to be $1 bills, maybe a couple $5s. No, most people legit handed this kid a $20 bill.
Dude, Flip was so annoyed because Flip goes, he literally made more money in merch than I did. He's like, your 5-year-old made more money tonight than me. But he did so good, and people clapped for him, and Garrett was, he was so into it, Yeah. So I'm going to run off. And I'm going to get Garrett and Mom.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how much of this you're going to see, but we'll probably end up editing a little bit of it. But my mom's here, and I thought, well, we just had a great Mother's Day with my mom.
And we've always talked about having Miss Dora on the podcast, but we've never actually had her on. I mean, she is in My Life in Quarantine.
Yes.
So if people have seen that, she makes an appearance in that, and she's so good. And y'all, she was so funny. We cut out a lot of her stuff from My Life in Quarantine. I'll help position the mic. But yeah, no, there's so much good stuff in My Life in Quarantine of Miss Dora that we cut that I wish there was like a way we could show you guys, because she's so good. She's so funny. That's where Steve always gets real upset when I call him dramatic, but everyone knows he is. It's not like I'm sharing a secret. And Steve definitely gets his flair for the dramatic from his mama, from Miss Dora.
Okay, so Garrett would like to walk Grandma Dora in. Okay. Because after the show, he said, Dad, if I'm on the show, how come I can't be on the podcast? So Garrett, bring Grandma in. Walk her in. There we go. Grandma Dora, you're going to sit right over here. Garrett, you want to sit on my lap real quick? You want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hello? Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
You don't have to hold it like that.
Okay.
How did it feel to be on stage singing?
It felt good.
Yeah? What song did you sing?
Dirt on My Boots.
By who? John Pardee?
By John Pardee.
Yeah. Are you going to sing from now on stage?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, we're so proud of you. You did so good.
Thanks.
We love you. Okay? Thank you for bringing Grandma Dora in here. Tell Mom Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Thank you, sweet boy.
All right. Close the door behind you, okay, buddy? Yes. Good job, Garrett. All right. So that was my son, Garrett. And as always,
shut it all the way.
Hey, Mom.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing good.
Yeah?
Yes, recuperating.
Your mom party, dude.
Yeah, and behind the scenes, Betty was like mixing cocktails for your mom at the hotel room.
Yeah, and then what was the one that Timmy made you with amaretto? Every night, Mom have a...
No, it was Bailey's coffee and
Frangelico.
Frangelico.
Here, and look at me just a second. You got an eyelash on your face.
When you drink Bailey's coffee, I'm old, but I still like to party. I drink coffee and alcohol.
Did I say I was old?
No.
Thank you.
And then
You called her 80 on stage.
I love doing that. She gets on stage. I'm like, man, she looks great for 80. And you see people like, there's no way she's 80.
Hey, I'm not too far from 80 anyway.
No.
But Arturo showed up. Well, I was my mom had drinks, and then also that was Saturday, and then our Saturday night, Arturo shows up with two of his friends from Mexico. So then all of a sudden, mom and those girls are like, and then all of a sudden they're partying and drinking, and
yes,
and
we
mom
had
a good time.
fun. Yes,
You had fun?
I did. Oh yes, it was nice.
Do you think that if you knew any better, that you could have been a movie star?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Steve always says if it had been a different time, or
had you pursued it?
If you had known it was an option that you could move to Hollywood and become an actress, Steve always thinks you would have moved to Hollywood and been an actress.
Well,
you don't think so?
I liked all of that. Yes.
Well, what did you want to do when you were a kid?
I wanted to be an RN.
A nurse?
Really?
Yeah.
Couldn't afford it though. But that's what I wanted, but my mother changed my mind.
Yeah.
She didn't like what nurses did.
Who taught you to sew?
Well, my mother sewed a lot, and I started sewing little doll clothes by hand.
Because Rick,
when I was about 7.
When I was a little kid, my house was sewing central.
Yes.
Everybody in Portland, Texas, brought everything to my mom. I think you could have really had a business there had you pursued it.
I could have. I was a seamstress for a while and sewed for a lot of people. But they expect to not pay very much for clothes that is made.
Right.
They wanted it for free. I mean, practically.
Right.
And
it's hard.
It takes so much time.
Yes. I did a whole wardrobe for this young girl that she was a plus size. So she
was fat.
Well, plus size. And I ended up doing a whole wardrobe for her because she was going to Hawaii or Cancun or somewhere. So when I told her the price, it kind of surprised her because she thought it was going to be cheap.
Right.
And it really isn't.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
It was not just the cost of the fabric. I mean, fabric is expensive too. Fabric's not cheap, but
well, fabric back then and patterns were a lot cheaper.
Well, it was funny, Rick, because when we were living in LA, mom's coming to LA, and Renee's like, I need a sewing machine because Miss Dora's going to teach me how to sew. The sewing machine came out once.
I have pulled it. See? We've pulled it out, and she helps me use it again. We made curtains.
Your sisters gave them back to me because they didn't use them. But I made her several blouses, several shorts, sundresses, and it totaled up to about $350.
And in those days,
but
that's a lot of material because she was plus size.
That took me about 2 months to do.
Yeah. Wow. That's a long time.
Bringing her in and out for measurements and everything.
Yeah. I just always find it interesting, Mom, because you're such a talented person, and here you are, and you've seen her be a seamstress. She's perfect.
Yeah.
Mom's very artistic. And then from there, you started typing, and then how many words a minute at one point were you able to type?
No, I can still do that.
How many?
About 120 words a minute.
Wow. 120 words a minute, Rick. Can you Google what the average is? Because that's pretty good.
I went to a typing class, but they threw me out.
Why?
Well, because that was for beginners, and I should have been in advanced because I was too fast.
You were too fast?
Yeah. I was
50 to 80.
Holy
50
cow.
to 80 is the average, and Mom's at 120 words a minute?
Yep, and I can still do that.
But that's amazing. But again, Mom, so you went from sewing to then having a skill like that, right? And then you decided, I remember you were selling Mary Kay.
Yes, I did for about 18 years.
And then I'll tell you this, that my mom, every job she's ever done, she becomes the spokesperson for that job.
Yeah.
Like everywhere.
Yeah.
So she was at the Texas Workforce Commission. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, she's in a commercial.
Yes, I was.
All of a sudden, Mom's in a commercial.
Uh-huh.
And you were there, what, a year and a half?
94, 96, 2.5 maybe.
But she's there a year, and Rick, they're putting her in commercials. So that's why I think that with as much talent as you have, your ability for design, right? Like, would you say, Renae, that mom's one of the only ones, and not to disrespect your mom, that you listen to when it comes to style?
She's a Virgo.
Oh, God.
Exactly. We're identical. Yeah.
We're both Virgos.
Oh, yeah, mom, say Virgo.
We
Say Virgo.
Virgo.
Mom has a hard time.
Virgo. Say Virgo.
Do you really think that that's why?
Yeah, we have a lot in common.
We do have a lot in common.
The jewelry, the shoes, and we like nice stuff.
Yes.
I know Renee's going through mom's closet, and she's like, Dora, when you die, I just want the shoes.
No, and the dishes. She has a dish obsession like I do too.
Yes,
all her
I do.
glass dishes.
What did you think when I brought Renae home?
What do you mean? Home when?
When I first started dating her.
Well,
be honest.
No, I'm going to be honest. I thought she was a beautiful girl, and she'd make a good straighten you out. And she did, I think.
She said straighten you out.
And I think she did. You needed somebody like her.
Oh, I think mom thought I was going to prison.
Well, it really scared me when he called and said, we're going to New York for Jerry's wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And he told me, he says, you better not say anything about Renae and I over there. And I said, oh, no.
That was one of our first dates was Jerry's wedding.
Yeah.
That's when I found out you were dating her.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'd already been out in LA and I'd gone back to school, and you said, I'm coming to New York with my family, go to this wedding with me.
No, you were like, I have to go.
No.
If we're dating, I have to go. I have to represent.
No.
No, but that was one of our first dates was Jerry's wedding.
And then we took forever to get married. So for years it was like Steve and friend, Steve and date. And I was like, we've been together 7 years. We've been dating longer than the couple getting married.
It's always somebody else. And they were just surprised that you kept showing up.
Yes.
Every time they get out an invitation, they're like, surely she's still not with it. No way. And then, you've told me this, and you were supposed to have a baby before Lisa.
Yes.
And you had a miscarriage.
I was 6 months.
Like Renae was.
Mm-hmm. But
that was the first one.
The first one. Yes.
I remember you had a name and everything.
Yes. I had a name, Lisa. And when they were going to baptize her, and I asked the priest that if the baby
that died, they were going to baptize her.
Yes, because because I was 6 months, but she had been dead for 3 months. So, but I took her 3 more months, and I was getting sick, so that's why I miscarried. But the priest said, no, you cannot name, if you have another girl, the same name you want for her.
Right.
So I said, but I want to name her Lisa, because that's the name I had picked from the very beginning. He says, no, you cannot do that. So I named her Veronica. Yeah. I have a certificate.
Then how much longer before you got pregnant with Lisa?
3 months.
Oh, right away. Mm-hmm. And then Lisa came, and then, because, Rick, me and my sisters are all 4.5 years apart. Mm-hmm. All of us. Mm-hmm. So then I was next.
Yes.
Made you a mom.
Yes.
And then Victoria was an accident?
No. She was
bullshit.
not.
But it's okay, Mom.
She was. I planned all my kids. No, Victoria, don't believe that.
Nobody wanted Victoria.
No, my kids were all
thrown in the trash.
Yes, I called him. I called and I talked to him at the house, and I told him, I said, I'm bringing your baby sister home. First thing he said was, throw her in the trash. And I said, I can't do that.
No, I'm glad you didn't, because I love
No, but she was not an accident. They were all planned. I planned them.
Yeah, but
Of course she planned them. She's a Virgo.
Yes, I know. I had a book I had a book that showed the ovulation and the time and everything. I studied that book.
Oh, so back then there was no app.
Book.
There was no app.
There was no app, but there was a medical book.
And then, what has it meant to you to be our mom?
Oh, I've been very blessed because all my kids are good kids and are always there for me, and I'm there for them, and I've been blessed to have the children that I have.
And when we were at El Chingon, and they were singing Estas son las mañanitas, and you almost started to cry because you thought about your
my
mom.
Yes, about my mom.
You know, but was it weird that because your mom, you were number 7 out of 9.
I don't know.
And grandma was already older when you got older.
Oh,
right?
yeah. She was in her late 30s.
When she had you.
Your mom was in her late 30s when she had you? Oh, I didn't realize that. I never did the math.
So how old was she when she had Renae?
Gosh. Well, Renee's 66, and she died when she was 78.
Well, how many years
late 30s.
older are you than Renae?
3 years.
Oh, so 3 years later.
So she could have been in her 40s. Yeah.
When she had Renae. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, but she had my older brother 1937, then my sister 1938, then 1940, then 41, and then 43, then 44, and then 46, and then...
Hey, Rick, what's 9 times 9? What is that?
49. Oh,
49.
81. 81 months of being pregnant in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Let me jump in here. Miss Dora, the fact that he doesn't know 9 times 9, what was it like as a child? What was Steve really like?
Well, it seemed like I had 6 boys instead of 1.
Dude, almost 7 years of being pregnant in your life.
Mm-hmm. But she...
No, Rick, I will say that my poor mom and my dad, you know, I was a crazy, wild human. And I've always been a crazy, wild human. And I would assume that, you know, and even Dad told me, Dad goes, I really think, you know, had I not been as hard on you as I was, that you would have ended up in prison. My own dad said that.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Well,
but see, your Aunt Mary, Mappy, she's 5 years older than me, so Mother waited 5 years before she had me. Yeah.
Right.
But I hear, and I don't know if it's true, I hope my sister won't see the podcast, but my mother told me she breastfed my sister Mary 5 years, so that's why she wouldn't get pregnant, because she was breastfeeding. Once she stopped, she got pregnant with
again.
me.
Oh,
that makes
so
sense.
Your sister was a titty baby, and then finally
That's what I heard. I don't know. Sorry, Mary.
But did it feel like you know, my oldest uncle, who is Ricardo, right, your brother, how many years older was he than you?
14.
14 years. Did it feel like there was other mothers around because of that?
My sisters, yes.
That's what I mean. Were you raised by
my
everybody?
Well, mostly my sisters. I mean, once we moved to the United States, they helped my parents raise us because we were the youngest. So we're the ones who got the best Christmas, the best clothes, the best toys, because they worked and they helped my dad. So they didn't get the best of much because it was hard. But Adelma and I and Renae, I mean, we got the best because our sisters were there for us.
But I always think of Mom when it comes to perspective, right? Because to this day I still drive by the house that they all lived in, right? And that I spent a lot of summers in, right? And it is 1,100 square feet, maybe?
Yeah, it was about 1,100 square feet.
Yeah, and 9 of you, 11 people.
11 people.
Living in that, and you were happy.
Yes.
You don't ever remember being like, oh my God, this is the worst.
No.
We're poor, this sucks.
No, we were happy. You know, I mean, we were happy. We never complained. We had to work to help my father, but we were happy.
Did Grandma work?
No.
Your mom didn't work?
Mother never worked.
So he would, and was that like she didn't want to work, or was it?
No, mother didn't speak English to begin with. My dad didn't either. But my dad worked.
Was it a macho thing? You know, my wife's not going to work.
Probably back then, probably. But she was. I mean, our food was ready on the table when we got home from school. When we would get up in the morning, breakfast was ready. She was making tortillas and everything. I never complained.
I always pictured, we used to call her abuelita, right? Uh-huh. And my mom's mom, she was always so old to me, but old.
Yeah.
Not like, because how old was grandma when she passed?
My mother? 79.
79. So for 9 years, she was in her 70s, but she always looked old.
Yeah.
And is it because, I guess when you have 9 kids.
She looked older when she was younger. To me, she looked older older when she was young.
Because, grandma had no teeth.
Yeah, she lost all her teeth in her, gosh.
I remember being a kid and walking by the restroom, and she was
40s.
brushing.
Oh, wow.
She was brushing her teeth in her hand, and I was like freaking out.
Yeah. But she never liked to be seen without her teeth. Never. Never. No.
But I would say that
lack of calcium from having so many kids.
Babies, like the things that does to your body.
Exactly. But she never complained about that either.
What's been your best Mother's Day?
Oh, I think all my Mother's Days have been good with my daughters, and now with you, because I hadn't spent Mother's Day with you in years.
Yeah.
But I do miss my strawberries.
I told you.
No, Well, because he would always send me some, because I didn't spend it with him. But it's a joke.
No, we wanted to send you something different this year. Yes. So you have something different at your house when you get there.
But I've enjoyed it, and it's very nice. Mother's Day to me is good because I have my kids, but you also think about your mom, and because she's not there anymore. So it's hard.
And that made me appreciate you more yesterday. Is me realizing that, man, you were missing your mom, and your mom is no longer on earth.
We think the way I used to think was she's gonna live forever, so I don't have to get that close to her because she's gonna make efforts to spend more time with them, because you think they're gonna live forever, and we don't live forever. Yeah. And so you need to spend all the time you can with your mother. And I know you're apart from her, but make more effort to be with us, because I already lost several classmates my age, and we're going fast. Yeah. Well, and it's our time, So
Mom used to work at a bank, and every year they had this big bank picnic, right? And it was awesome. All the employees would go and do it, and then they had a talent show.
Yeah.
Right. So Mom was one of the only ones that would help me with the talent show. Right. I'd want to be on the talent show, and she'd go find a song for me to pantomime or something. Did you ever think that I was going to grow up and be a comedian? And were you worried when I went to Dallas and said, "This is what I want to do"?
Yes, of course I worried. And when you left, I called my mother, and I cried and I cried and I cried, and my mother said, "Do never cry for your children, because you will give them bad luck." She always believed that.
Yeah.
And she told me not to cry for him, to pray for him, and that's what I've always done. But I worried when you went to Del Mar, and then you told me, "Mother, I'm quitting. I'm getting out of Del Mar." And I said, "Oh my God, what is he going to do now?" But I missed you, but what could I do? I couldn't stop you.
Oh, I know, but I found out very quickly that college was not for me. Right, and I think that's a hard thing too, because yes, you want your kids, me and you and Rick and Gigi, we want our kids to go to college, but how do you then realize that, hey, maybe college is not for my kid?
Well, I never discouraged you, and you always told me since you were a kid that's what you wanted to do, and I said, well, if it's going to happen or not.
Yeah. I've always been a very independent person.
Well, yes.
I've always had my job. I've always worked. Mom and Arthur would come visit me at El Chico when I was waiting tables in high school. I always was doing my own thing.
He never asked us for any money. Never. And that's the way it should be. Parents shouldn't take money from their children or them take from us. There's no way I'm going to take money from him. or it's just not right. It's just not right for us to depend on our kids. They're gone and they're making their life. Their money is for their own children. And
what would you, in closing, what would you tell a new mommy that may be watching right now?
A new mommy?
Yeah. Something that you wished you would have done, something different, something that you did.
Oh, time has gone by so fast that I wish I had spent more time with my kids. And you need to be there for your kids as much as you can, because in a blink of an eye, they're gone, they're married, they're gone. You don't have them there anymore. And they're not little anymore. He didn't like me kissing him when I would drop him off at school. He says, "No, Mom." And so,
kiss them when you can.
Yeah, kiss them all that you can and hug them and be with them, because by the time you know it, they're grown. And they're gone.
And what I heard in there was, and then a woman comes and takes your son away.
But then you have grandbabies to kiss, because now she's giving Garrett kisses and putting her lipstick all over Garrett.
That's true. But, if it's like they say, like Roland and Kenny,
They're my brother-in-laws.
Yes. And you. I love them. And I'm going to treat them like if they were my own kids. I don't want to mistreat her or Roland or Kenny, and then they'll mistreat you, or they'll mistreat Lisa or Victoria. I'm going to love them all the same.
Oh, man, because I hope Raymond and Mary are listening to this one.
I love them all the same. I do, because she's now my daughter, and they're now my sons.
Right.
So during Christmas, I say I'm going to give all my kids. I don't call them in-laws. I call them my kids, because they are. And they've all given me beautiful grandchildren, and I'm so blessed. And like I told Renae, I have the most beautiful granddaughters. They're all beautiful.
And athletic and
smart.
And
including my baby Delilah. So. And Garrett, of course, my only, I'm not going to see Garrett, grown. Maybe not, because we're at the age where, we can go anytime.
Not you, Mom. You're going to live to 100 at least. You're going to be that old lady.
And then he's going to say, "Look at me, my mother. She looks 150.
60 years old. Well, I love you, Mom. And I was so happy to
so much. And I had a great time.
I'm glad you
Mother's
came.
Day.
And this is Steve Trevino and the Captain Evil podcast. And
Miss Dora.
Turned out to be a good episode. Yeah. And do me a favor, folks. Please tag people that you think might enjoy our podcast. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you were treated well. And remember, all mothers deserve to be celebrated, especially the good ones. Because it's easy to be a mom. It's hard to be a good mom. So with that being said, till next time, I am Steve Trevino. Thank you.